A massive benefit that you get by mastering your email marketing strategy as a brand selling on Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, whatever it is that you get people to buy over and over and over again. And email marketing is kind of like the best mechanism to do that and get people to buy many, many times. And the benefit of having people buy over and over and over again is that they are worth so much more to your brand, and it makes you a lot more profitable. So what I want to do in this video is give you an example of a post-purchase email flow journey. When I say flow, I mean these are automated, and we're going to do an example here for Soylent.com. All right, so this is Soylent. This is a brand that has, as you can see here, ready to drink meals formulated with all 39 essential nutrients to fuel your day. This is not one of our existing clients. I just like to use them as an example, so we're going to use them as an example for this post-purchase flow journey right here. Now, keep in mind, the whole purpose of this flow journey is to increase the value of these customers to our brand, who is Soylent in this example, and we want to do it on an automated basis using email flows. So we're going to start by looking at their brand and kind of like mapping out this journey. The thing you want to keep in mind is that there's going to be a few main things here. We got first time buyer series. We're going to have a repeat buyer series. We're going to have a VIP flow. We're going to have customer win back flow. And that's it. So let's begin with the first time buyer series. So when someone buys for the first time, I believe, and like you guys are looking at this live with me, so they've got meal replacement shakes, high protein. Looks like they've got tubs of protein. They have coffee and energy. They have snacks. So this is a good example. If these are the main 4 categories that they sell, we're probably going to want to branch out this first time buyer series by, let me make a quick note here. So we're going to want to branch this out by category. And those 4 categories are going to be meal replacement, shakes, protein, coffee and energy, and snacks. Because based on the thing that they purchased for the first time here, keep in mind, first time buyer series. This is their first purchase as a customer of Soylent. So based on what they bought here, it's going to really change the way we communicate with them. Because, for example, if they bought a snack, we want to give them our best, most highlighted product, which is our meal replacement shakes. So that's going to be a really heavy emphasis on the chain of emails that we give to these people. And then coffee and energy, if they buy that, again, maybe coffee and energy is all they're here for. So we're going to keep promoting different types of coffee and energy to them. Those are the type of things you want to test here. Now let's go into repeat buyer series and let's just get some quick thoughts there. Typically for the repeat buyer series, we like to keep it pretty short because at this point they've kind of proven that they like your, they really like the products that you sell. The biggest thing here is priming them to continue buying from the campaign. So I'm going to leave that as a note here. Priming them to continue buying from campaigns. All right, and then next up, we got the VIP flow. And keep in mind, we're going to go deeper on each of these, but for the VIP flow, our requirements, typically what we like to do is 3 or 4 purchases or the equivalent of that in AOV. So for Soylent here, let's assume that the requirements for the VIP buyers, so the requirements here are either going to be 3 purchases, or let's assume that Soylent's average order value is, if one of these products costs $48, let's assume their average order value is maybe like $60 to $70. I'd assume it's probably in that range. We'll go with 60 as an AOV, maybe 70 because it's probably pretty likely that people would buy multiple sets of these. How much are they getting here? Oh, this is 12 bottles. Yeah, so actually it's probably closer to like 50 to 60. We'll go with 60. $60 is an average order value times 3 purchases, would be $180 spent. The requirements to enter the VIP flow is either going to be 3 purchases or $180 spent. Now for the customer win back flow, because this is a type of product that we want people to be consistently repurchasing, I'd say as long as they don't purchase within like 90 days, it's probably time to start filtering them into that customer win back flow. So haven't purchased within 90 days of last purchase. Okay, so now we kind of have like the basis set for each of these. Now let's dive into the specifics. All right, so keep in mind here that a really big point of emphasis for the first time buyer series is removing buyer's remorse. We want to reinforce that buying decision so that they feel good about the purchase they just made. So we're going to begin here with the meal replacements first welcome email. I would say it'd be worth doing for them because I know this is a big brand for Soylent for this example. So we'd probably want to do meal replacement, thank you email, a protein category, thank you email, coffee and energy, and then a snacks. So I'm not going to take the time to label all these, but you guys know what I mean here. Actually, let me do that. All right, so we got meal replacement, protein, coffee, and snacks. Now this top email is going to be the thank you email. All right, that again, that's where we're going to remove buyer's remorse and essentially just thank them for their order and welcome them into our brand or our community. Now, we do want to upsell them in this flow. So we need to do it strategically though. We don't want to be selling people hard after they just purchased from us before they actually receive the product. So based on our shipping info, or maybe we'll use a trigger here based on when the order has actually been fulfilled, we're probably going, and I'm gonna leave a note here for this, don't begin. All right, so we don't want to begin the upsells until 7 days after their order has been fulfilled, right? But in between that time, so in between this thank you email and the upsell emails here, which is what we'll call this section, we want to give them valuable information that introduces them to the brand and gets them excited about their purchase. We might do 2 to 3 of those. All right, so the flow of this, we'll go thank you email. These are going to go into about 2 to 3 emails that are going to get them really excited about that purchase they just made. And then after 7 days of them getting their order and actually trying it and getting a really good experience with the product, now we're going to start hitting them with upsells. Now, the actual cadence in which we're going to upsell them, or kind of like the strategy there, is going to be based on what that initial purchase was. This just randomly came to mind, but I want to keep a note here. If they purchase a second time while being in this flow for whatever reason, we want to take them out. So you're going to want to put that in your flow filters, because then they're going to enter the repeat buyer series, which we'll get to in a minute. But during these upsells, you want, so for example, meal replacement shakes. We might start the first layer of upsells for each of these 4 categories, upselling whatever other one makes the most sense for them. That could look a little different for each one. For example, the meal replacement shakes, maybe if we want to upsell them over to a different category, we might refer them the protein, because we've seen that the people that buy meal replacement shakes and protein just tend to buy the same thing, or those 2 things in combination. So we might upsell that to protein, and then protein buyers we might upsell over to the meal replacement shakes, because they just have a good connection and there's a lot of harmony there. Now, coffee and snacks might be the same thing. So we'll do the same thing, interchanging those 2 upsells. That might be the first layer. Or maybe we save that for the second layer, and the first layer of upsells, and when I say layer, I mean like the first email or the second email in each of these 4 categories. The first layer, we might actually do more of the same thing at like a good offer. Like for example, they bought a meal replacement shake. Let's take an example here. Soylent Complete Meal Strawberry. They bought this pack of 12 bottles of strawberry meal replacement. Maybe we offer them 12 bottles of meal replacement at, let's see here, save 12.5% on every order for the subscribe and save. Maybe we give them 20% off their next meal replacement, or maybe we give them 15% off and allow them to lock in at 15% off. But either way, we want to give them an opportunity to go back and get more of the same thing. It's kind of like the point I'm trying to articulate here. Those are a few different ways you can think about this. The other thing is that we could do like that first email in each of these categories could be more of the same product. The second one could be an upsell over to that other category that goes in harmony with it, like I said. And then the next 2 could be the other 2 products that they haven't been upsold to yet, if that makes sense, out of these 4. So those are a few ways that I would think about this. Yeah, I think that's a good way to cap that off. Now, repeat buyer series, again, we're going to keep this pretty simple. We're going to also have a thank you email here. If you have a rewards program or loyalty program, we're going to want to make that very evident right here in this repeat buyer series. All right, so we're going to do that really clearly in the thank you email. Now, after the thank you email, we really just want to keep them primed, continue buying from the campaign. So that's exactly what that is. How do you actually do that? Well, one way we like to do it is give them kind of like the same type of content that they're going to get right here, but more geared towards repeat buyers rather than a first-time buyer. But then at the same time, you want to sneak in messaging saying things like, watch out for all the emails we'll send you with special promos, offers, information that's going to help you get the most out of your purchases from us, stuff like that. You just want to make sure that they are ready and open to all of the future campaign emails you're going to be giving them, because to be clear, that's where they're going to make most of their repeat purchases from this point on, because the first time buyer series, we want to make sure we get them to make that second purchase right away. But now that they've made that second purchase, they've kind of proven to us they like the products. We just need to keep existing in front of them with those campaigns. Now for the VIP flow, this is where we want to make them feel very special right away. So again, this is a thank you, this is a thank you page, but we want them to also feel really special. So we want to tell them they're now a VIP part of our brand, meaning they're going to get first access to future sales. They're going to get first access to different discounts. They're going to get, different offers that other people on the list just simply won't get. We want to make that very clear to them here. Just like thank them and explain to them why, reinforce that decision that they just made, buy from us, even after they've done it so many times. We never want to stop doing that. And again, this functions a lot similarly to the repeat buyer series in the fact that we kind of want to keep priming them to continue buying from campaigns similar to this one. But the VIP series, typically we'll give them a gift of some sort. So like we have one client where we're about to give them, in this VIP flow, we're going to give them a branded Stanley mug, like with our brand's logo on it. That's one example, because now they have another physical item at their house that just was a gift from us, and that tends to build a really strong relationship with those buyers, and it starts conversations. It gets them to talk about their friends and family about us, stuff like that. Now the other thing, I know not every brand watching this will have this, but a lot of brands will have a loyalty or rewards program. This right here, or a referral program, sorry, right here, all these future emails and on, we want to shout out the referral program. You almost want to sell them on referring you to their friends and family, because keep in mind, if they are a VIP buyer, they've made it very, very clear to you that they really like your products. They bought more than 3 times, or they've spent $180. So they're primed to refer us to their friends and family. So we want to push that and make sure that it's very clear to them what that offer is for them to do that. And then again, infinitely. We just want to make that very clear to them. Now, another thing you can do here at this point is kind of like differentiate the campaigns that these VIPs get. All of these people should be put in a separate segment. And when you're sending campaign emails, we want to occasionally, maybe not in every campaign, but occasionally, we'll split it out so that the VIPs are getting a more like personalized piece of content. Like it could even be a plain text email from the founder saying like, hey, as a VIP member, I want you to have this. And it could be the same thing that the other people got, but it's worded differently towards the VIPs. Or maybe if you're doing like a special sale or promo, you can literally give the VIPs a better offer. Now, customer win back, this one's gonna be pretty simple because you're just going to be handling objections. So after it's been 90 days, this is gonna be triggered by a placed order. And then after 90 days passes without them making another purchase in that entire 90 days, that's when they're gonna get email number 1. And then all we're doing in the rest of this flow is kind of like handling the objections that could stop them from making that second purchase and kind of like educating them to get them to come back. And another really strong thing to do here is to give them a discount because, you know, maybe they just need that extra boost to get them to make that second purchase. Keep in mind, you're gonna have to do a lot of convincing here because they've ordered the product. They didn't buy again for a reason. You know, maybe they didn't really like the taste of one of these products that they bought. So maybe you need to promote other tastes. That's like one example of what Soylent could be doing here. Now, the biggest piece of this, and that's what I'm gonna write here to cap out this video, is market research. All right, you wanna do thick, dense market research because that will tell you the exact objections that people have towards your products, even after trying it. Look at your worst reviews. Those are probably telling you exactly what to say in your customer win back flow. So do that market research and handle those objections with 3 to 4 emails. Let me turn off the bold. 3 to 4 emails where you're handling objections in this flow to get them to come back and make that second purchase. All right, so those are my thoughts on the post-purchase journey for Soylent. If you find this valuable, the very first link in the description is going to give you free access to my newsletter. I send 3 to 5 newsletters a week, basically about e-commerce growth, email marketing, advertising, everything you need to grow your e-commerce brand and make some more money. So any questions, drop them in the comments. Talk soon.